Nairan is cornered by Larry, who wants to kill her. Meanwhile, Ma Dong is struggling against the new medicine, but his heartbeat and temperature finally come down to normal. The doctor decides to give him another shot in 6 days to see how that works out. Elsewhere, Nairan uses a taser to fight back Larry and escape. She goes to the police station where Ma Dong calls her. He asks how she is, but she does not reveal that she was attacked, and he does not reveal that he almost died taking medicine. But later, Professor H. Wang calls Nairan and tells her that Ma Dong took the medicine first. Meanwhile, the detective also calls Ma Dong and tells him that Nairan was attacked. But Ma Dong and Nairan don't fight because he is struggling with the medicine. Instead, they just scold each other a little. She makes food for him and leaves. By the next day, Ma Dong is already feeling a lot better. Ma Dong makes constant video journals with updates on his health. Later at the office, Ma Dong finally starts feeling cold, meaning his body temperature is getting back to normal. Meanwhile, Chief Na is told that she is being sent to Washington as a correspondent, and she will return in 2 years. Both her and Ma Dong are sad to say goodbye to each other. Later, Ma Dong asks their channel director to run an ad about Larry. The director says that it's too expensive, but Ma Dong yells at him to have some conscience. Suddenly, he realizes that his temperature is not increasing, which is a good sign. As they are returning, Nairan asks if she should also get the shot. But Ma Dong tells her to wait until after he takes the second dose and see the effects. He starts feeling cold more quickly than before, like a normal human being. Elsewhere, Jae-hoon asks his mother if she wants to be cryogenically frozen as well to escape reality. But Young-seon is happy with her life and she wants to see him grow up. The next morning, Ma Dong goes jogging, raising his temperature, but he is doing fine. He and Nairan start planning the things they will do once they both get back to normal. Later, Nairan goes to her office. Ma Dong wants to go with her, but she does not want to follow him everywhere. Instead, she wants him to rest at home. They are just about to kiss, but suddenly, Nairan's heartbeat starts increasing because of butterflies. So, they have to stop kissing. That will come later, amongst other things. Once the week is over, Ma Dong gets the second shot. Now, they have to wait and see how it goes with him. Ma Dong gets feverish again and he goes to sleep. Later, while Nairan is working, she gets a package of the book that she has written. Meanwhile, Ma Dong wakes up and he is completely healthy and active. His heartbeat and temperature are normal, like a normal human being's. He quickly calls Nairan. The scientists also confirm that all his readings are normal. For the first time in a long while, Ma Dong can eat his mother's tasty warm soup. All his family members get excited, and they start making plans like going to the sauna and drinking alcohol. Ma Dong asks Nairan to take the shot, but she has an important teaser to shoot for a new upcoming show, and she can't miss it because she's the director. Nairan asks why he's still wearing the temperature watch. Ma Dong replies that they'll get matching watches when she also gets cured. One of them is going to die, isn't it? Ma Dong then goes to Nairan's parents and tells them that he is now normal, and soon, Nairan will also be fine. Nairan's parents cry out of happiness. They ask for forgiveness from Ma Dong for how badly they treated him in the past. Ma Dong forgives them. The next day, Nairan secretly sends a package to Ma Dong. Then, she goes and prepares for the teaser that she is going to shoot. Ma Dong also comes to watch. They see each other and walk towards each other. But suddenly, Nairan sees Larry coming in from the crowd, menacingly carrying a knife. So, she quickly hugs Ma Dong and switches sides with him. Larry slices her instead of Ma Dong, who does not know what just happened. Larry runs away and Nairan starts bleeding. They quickly rush her to the hospital, and her parents also come. The doctor says that they need to perform emergency surgery on Nairan. But the professors say that her body temperature is too low, and she will die if she gets anesthesia. And without anesthesia, the doctors cannot operate on her. They could give the medicine that Ma Dong took recently, but that will take 1 week to take effect and she will die by then. They are in a dilemma as to what to do next. Everyone, including Chief Na, finds out what happened. They are all in shock. Ma Dong decides to put Nairan into cryogenic sleep in order to stop the blood flow from her wound. Then, he will work on a medicine that will return Nairan to her normal temperature immediately instead of taking a week. Nairan's parents cry and put the fate of their daughter in Ma Dong's hands, so they go ahead with cryogenic sleep. That night, Ma Dong gets the package that Nairan had sent to him. Inside is a suit that she made for him, and a note saying that she loves him more than he does. Ma Dong starts crying. He starts spending many days just looking at Nairan's frozen form. Ma Dong starts getting depressed as he's feeling powerless to do anything for Nairan. One day, Nairan's brother calls him and says that his number is now saved as My Love in her contacts. So, Ma-dong takes the permission of his family and goes to live with Nairan's family. Meanwhile, the professors at the campus double down on their efforts to develop a new cure for Nairan. Chief Na also doubles down on her efforts to catch Larry. Ma-dong starts seeing Nairan everywhere. He does not eat anything, so Jae-hoon brings him food and assures him that Nairan will survive, and he needs to be strong enough to protect her. That night, Ma-dong settles into Nairan's room. She sees her things and her pictures and becomes sad. He also finds the book written by her called Everything About Love. It is about how she and Ma-dong become frozen and they fell in love with each other. He completed her and she does not regret anything that she has ever done. With this new motivation, Ma-dong starts becoming more positive, spending more time with Nairan's parents and being active in his work in the broadcasting office. 1 year passes and Chief Na also returns from the US. Ma-dong also takes time to spend time with his family. His siblings are also doing well, and they are moving into their own new homes soon. They ask him when he will move back in. Ma-dong replies that he will move back in when he gets married. That seems to shut everyone up immediately. Soon, Professor H. Wang is ready to finish the shot that can cure Nairan's body temperature, but there are still some risks involved. Later, Ma-dong runs into Na, who assures him that Nairan is going to be alright. Soon after, Professor H. Wang runs the clinical test, and it's a success. Ma-dong immediately tells Nairan's parents, but Nairan needs to have surgery as soon as possible, and the new medicine will take 1 day to bring her back to normal. It's all a race against time. Nairan's parents approve of the process to go through. They take Nairan out of the freezer and give her the medicine. Then, they give her anesthesia and do the surgery on her. However, she takes a long time to recover from the anesthesia, so the doctors move her into the ICU. Sometime later, Nairan starts recovering and they show it by moving her fingers. So dramatic, so unique. The doctor says that Nairan is getting into a stable condition. Later, Nairan's brother hugs him and assures him that she'll be alright. He gives him her phone and leaves. Ma-dong suddenly sees a calendar app on her phone where Nairan has marked all the dates with important events between herself and Ma-dong. Like the first time they touched, the first time they kissed, the first time they did it. No wait, they hadn't done it yet, unfortunately. Their first date in the skating rink, and even Ma-dong's mother's birthday. That really sends him over the edge and he starts crying. The next day, Nairan's temperature starts decreasing, so Professor H. Wang administers another shot to her. Meanwhile, Nairan's parents are guilty because Ma-dong stays with them all the time, taking care of them instead of staying with his own family. So, they prepare to send him back, for his own sake. But Ma-dong arrives just in time and says that when Nairan wakes up and sees that he's not taking care of her parents, she'll kill him. Her mother starts crying, but Ma-dong stays with them. Once again, Ma-dong gets depressed. He is sleeping when he suddenly hears Nairan's voice saying that her temperature is stable, and he should come to meet her. So, Ma-dong follows his gut feeling and calls Professor H. Wang to the hospital. Turns out, he was right and her temperature has indeed returned to normal. She might wake up anytime now. One day, Nairan's parents get a call, saying that Nairan has woken up and they're so happy to hear the good news, they start crying. Ma-dong also gets the news and he also ditches his company meeting. However, he's on another island right now to shoot a video for the channel, so he has to travel a long way. He calls Nairan's mother, who offers to let him talk to her, but Ma-dong declines, saying that he wants to talk to her in person. Ma-dong finally reaches the hospital, and he sees Nairan out in the cold, touching the snow. They walk romantically towards each other, then they romantically hug each other, and that's the happy ending. No, there's still stuff left. They can now drink hot coffee together. Later, Ma-dong's family asks her if they're going to get married, but Nairan says that she wants to go abroad to study filmmaking. Ma-dong starts complaining that she's going away from him. He is 100% sure that he is going to marry Nairan. Later, Ma-dong drops her off at her home and he gives her his journals, which have everything that he wrote while she was frozen recently. It's pretty much just him simping over her, to be honest. Nairan cries as she reads these diaries. The next day, Ma-dong asks her to follow her dreams, but Nairan no longer wants to go. She wants to be with him, and he can't go because he's now the head of the network. But suddenly, he gets a message from his niece saying that he should go with Nairan and start a YouTube channel. And that's exactly what happens. Ma-dong becomes a YouTuber, and he and Nairan start vlogging their lives from the United States. They're living happily ever after. Subscribe and hit that like button to help our channel grow. Turn the notifications on so you won't miss any of our new videos. Thanks for watching.